Hi, my bundles of joy. I hope you're doing well. Today's pick a card reading dives into the subconscious, and we're asking, what does your subconscious want you to know in order for you to achieve your highest timeline? So I've already pulled out the cards and shuffled and cleansed and cleared and tapped into each of the collectives in order to get this reading a little bit more snappy and a little bit more quicker. I'm trying to lessen the length of the intros as well as the pile times, just so it's just a more digestible read. Anyways, okay. So here's the pile selection. Here's pile number 1. Here's pile number 2. Here's pile number 3. I can't wait to join you at your pile. Timestamps are linked down below, and I will see you there. Hey, pile 1. How are you doing? Hope you are doing well. I have the spread already laid out for you because we're just diving into one specific question about what your subconscious wants you to know in order for you to achieve your highest timeline. Yeah, so let's just get into it. Divine Source, please tap me into the collective of pile 1 in order to channel and receive correct, accurate, concise messages that their subconscious wants them to know in order for them to achieve their highest timeline. So it feels a lot like you are in a transitional state and your subconscious is very proud of you because you have been able to really balance your emotions, and you have learned the lessons that you've needed to learn in this time period of yours. So to get a little bit more detailed about it, it seems like you've been on a journey, a very emotional journey, where you have also been grounded through this, but it's basically a journey where you've been able to control your emotions and are able to now see the more optimistic view of the world. It's been a very great spiritual growth and evolution for you to go on this journey and to achieve this emotional control and to achieve this confidence in yourself. Because this Magician's sword is really reminding me of the Magician in the tarot. So it feels like you have gone out of the Fool stage into the Magician stage, where you are able to recognize the resources you have around you and use it to your advantage in terms of being able to keep an emotional stability while balancing out your head and your heart so that you can come to a sound decision that really resonates with you. For example, you might be... This isn't really an example, this is just more of a... This is just kind of more of a analogy. So, in terms of your emotional control, you now have your heart in the driver's seat and your head in the passenger seat. And you have your body basically at the back seats. And what does that really mean? That really means that you are finally able to come into your own and you're able to trust yourself when it comes to your emotional well-being. And you are able to really ground down and root yourself into a place where you can lead with your heart. And you can trust your heart knowing that you have a well-defined and discerning mind within you. And that you have your body also to help when it comes to intuitively picking up on messages and being able to really feel into the body and into what it needs and how it has been holding on to stress. You're now moving out of the stagnation of that and going into the confidence of being yourself and being your own being, which is beautiful. I love that for you. It might have been a very tumultuous time that you've just gone past, one where you've had to go through the dark night of the soul. You might have been struggling with keeping your emotional control with the people around you. For example, roommates or coworkers. Excuse me. Or even partnerships. But I'm getting a lot of living situations and scenarios. So it doesn't have to be roommates. It could be family members as well. It could be loved ones. But your home environment especially is changing quite a lot, which is great. And if it's not your home environment, it's either your relationship, your personal relationships, or your work. The dust is kind of finally settling, and other than being in a space where you just use your emotional capacity or you just use your rational capacity, you have come into a place where you really get to recognize how both sides really help you understand yourself and how both sides can piece together and weave together the stories of your life. So you're able to trust both now, but there is a greater emphasis that you have a lot of confidence in yourself now, and you have a lot more trust in yourself to get yourself out of any scenario that you're in, basically. Yeah. So if let's say that you're in an argument with your significant other and it feels like you both are walking away from each other at times, you now allow that space to reflect, and then you come back into the partnership with a lot more of a emotional grasp and a clear head in order to solve the problem. And that goes with any other of your relationships, whether that be in the home or at work. But it really feels like you're coming out of this state of accidents and having a lot of vigilance when it comes to your strong emotions and the fear of losing control. You're coming out of that, and you are now learning the lessons. You're at school learning the lessons that you needed to, and for that your subconscious wants to congratulate you. You're no longer letting intrusive thoughts dictate what you do, and you now have such an emotional control over your thoughts that you are able to clear yourself and ask for help when needed. Ask for divine source, for any of your deities, if you practice with deities, any of your angels, any of your demons, any of your protectors or guards or animal spirits or inner spirits or ancestors. You're able to tune in to whoever you need to tune into in order for you to clear out any of the intrusive thoughts, any of the thoughts that may have been coming at you from other people especially. This feels like my empathic pile where they have a really clear crown chakra. So you're able to tap into a lot of people a lot of the time. And it really feels like you're becoming an empowered empath where you no longer people please in order to fawn, which is a survival mechanism, and it's totally okay. Like, it's just you're recognizing that you don't necessarily have to be in this survival state anymore, and you're able to really tune into your own feelings, your own wants, your own needs in order for you to set boundaries with the right people, and in order for you to get those intrusive thoughts out of your head and live the life that you want to live. So you are really just coming into your own and coming into this empowered empath of you where you can recognize someone else's emotions and you can recognize when those emotional intrusive thoughts aren't yours, and you're able to really grieve over any past situations that might have been haunting you, and you learned those lessons in order for you to become a lot more aware and a lot better at handling and discerning when it is appropriate to act on your thoughts. You have really tempered out a lot of your hard-headedness. And not to say that you're hard-headed, but it's more of the fact that we all have the lesson of learning that not all of our thoughts come from us. And sometimes our thoughts come from others and their judgments and their unfortunate comments that they might make. And it's more of you being able to not be stung by those comments, for you to not take it personally. Like, you're really entering an era of divine femininity where, like Taylor Swift, you were able to take all the shit that's happened to you and make such a masterpiece. For example, in the years 2016, I believe, 2016 to 2019. If you're a true Swiftie, you know I'm only getting into the Swiftiness, so I'm sorry if my years aren't correct, but she got a lot of hatred from a lot of fans because Kanye West and Kim Kardashian was really just like trolling her on the internet and sending hate towards her, and their fans were sending hate towards her through like snake emojis and then like calling her a snake when she didn't do anything wrong. Like, they tried to frame her when it comes to using her body image and her consent in order to produce a song, like the I Made You Famous song, or the famous song that Kanye has or whatever. And she really took that experience and she made it her own. And she made it into the queen that she is today, into the person that she is today, by being able to be like, oh, the making the whole Midnight's album, making the whole Eras tour, being the first woman in this generation to sell out so profusely, and banking off of the hatred that people sent towards her. She now has such a glorious reputation and such a comeback from the mistreatment that the internet, mainly Kim and Kanye's followers, had put onto her. And you're really coming into that era of owning yourself and owning who you are regardless of what people say, and not giving a shit about what other people say, because you know who you are and you're not going to let them tear you down any longer. You're standing up for what you believe in and for who you are, and you're not letting those intrusive thoughts get you down anymore. And your subconscious really wants to thank you. And just, I'm seeing the image of someone crying in my head. So it really just wants to let you know you've done so much emotional work, so much body, mind, spirit work, where you have developed yourself so well in order for you to be so empowered and be so discerning. And you're able to now have the people who can truly lift you up and who can truly support you in your life. And now you really understand who you don't want to let into your life, and who you're going to not trust and avoid, basically, because you only want the people whose best interest is for the greatest good and for your greatest good. And you've really done a lot of karmic clearing. You've really done a lot of shadow work in order to heal yourself and come to a place of such self-love. Okay. So we have one last card from the Practical Steps of Realization deck. And it is beauty. The affirmation is beauty is everywhere. The practical step is I surround myself with beauty. And this card really shows me that you have turned your whole life into this beautiful story. You have become hyper aware of the beauty in yourself and your own inner and outer beauty. And you are able to create experiences for yourself where you can live a beautiful life, and you can live a life that you want to live. And that, my friend, is such a reflection of how much work you've done. You're no longer living in fear. You're living in such a beautiful, peaceful, harmonious state where even the problems that come your way, you're able to recognize them and understand them, and it emotionally doesn't get to you. You're able to see it for what it is, to process it, and to let it go the way you need to. And your subconscious just really wants to let you know that you've done such a wonderful, beautiful job in getting to the place where you are right now, and that you're already on your highest timeline and you're already doing it. So if you're gonna take anything out of this video, I really hope it's the fact that you recognize how much work you've done and how much you deserve the beautiful life that you're stepping into and are in, and the highest timeline that you're in. Yeah. Okay, that is all the messages I have for you, beautiful soul, divine source, your subconscious. I am so proud of you for everything you've gone through and how you've come out of it so magically and so goddess-like or godlike or deity-like, whatever you want to identify as. Well, yeah. Thank you so much for listening. I would love to hear down below if this resonated or not and your story. And I hope this really helps in terms of you understanding your subconscious and how much you've grown and changed and become empowered and have become such a beautiful soul. Yeah. So I'm wishing you so much continuous love, peace, and joy, and treat yourself. You deserve something really well for all the shit you've gone through and how you've come out of it. So proud of you. Okay. Take care, beautiful soul. Hi, pal 2. Hope you are doing well. I have already laid out your spread. And we're just gonna go into the one detailed question of what your subconscious wants you to know in order for you to achieve your highest timeline. And I just wanted to change up the way I did the reading so that you don't have to wait for me shuffling all the time. Yeah. Okay, so Divine Source and the collective subconscious of pile 2, please tap me into pile 2 in order for them to receive clear, accurate, concise messages that resonate for their highest timeline. Okay. This is a great time of rest for you. This is a great period of rest for you. And you might be like, oh, Joy, but like I have work to do and bills to pay and all this social obligations to go to. And with that, I say that is right. That's fair. That is totally fair. Life does not stop. But this is a period where you don't have to push yourself. You don't have to give 110%. You can do what you need necessary, and you can prioritize yourself, and you can prioritize your rest especially. This is a space of time where you are able to cultivate your divine feminine when it comes to being receptive of your emotional states and being receptive to the balances of who you are, and recognizing how the moon states affect you and how you will always have your own inner light to really come back to whenever you need. Yeah, whenever you need to. Like you will always have a slice of paradise within you. That's what I'm hearing. You have come back into a space of your heart in order for you to really flourish again. And what does that mean, really? So when it comes to what your subconscious wants you to know in order for you to achieve your highest timeline, the key to your success right now is being able to balance your work and rest, with emphasis on rest right now, because I feel like you've just been in a really work-oriented phase. So now it's time to be in a more rest-oriented phase. And you being able to see the world through open eyes, like a newborn baby's eyes, basically. It feels like you've let go of something that wasn't serving you, something that gave you a lot of anxiety, something that kept you up at night, something that just kind of tormented you, if I'm being frank. And now your subconscious has gone through those phases into a place where you see things new again. So you might have quit a job recently, you might have ended a relationship, you might have ended a friendship or a partnership, or you might have cut off family members that were not respecting who you were and your boundaries. You might have cut off just some of the people that you used to be close to. And that was for your highest good, and that was for your highest potential, because those people were really draining you and really not serving you and really putting you in a space of instability. So now you kind of have a clean slate when it comes to building yourself back up and building yourself anew again. Like, you're coming into a state of more, kind of like pile 1, where you're coming out of the dark night of the soul and coming into a more, like, it's not like you're like out of the dark night of the soul. It feels like you're still kind of in it, and you're still going through the emotional, intrusive, cloudy judgments that can come with it. But you have been able to cut ties with the people that no longer resonate in your life and the people that no longer serve you. And you have really protected yourself, especially in order for you to rest, in order for you to be like this cute little sleeping fox. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a cute little sleeping fox right there. And sorry, I have my breakfast on my hand. Sorry. This cute little sleeping fox here. Sorry. And you're able to kind of bask in this garden of lavender. And this is also trees, mountains, and gardens. This is the subconscious card for that. So it's just more of an emphasis on being able to say that you have made your Garden of Eden. You have made a life where you have really traversed mountaintops. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you have been able to use your strength and willpower in order to cultivate a life that you find sacred and you find special and relaxing, and you've kind of isolated yourself quite a bit. Yeah. You've isolated yourself a bit from the people that, again, no longer served you. And now you're in a space where you can emotionally get in touch with who you are and listen to both your instincts and your intuition in order for you to achieve emotional harmony. There, you are discovering different layers of yourself, and you're protecting yourself quite heavily so that you can open yourself to new depths when it comes to being able to dive deep into why these people made you feel the way you did. Some people that you've let go of have felt like obstacles in your life that you're able to jump over. So, for example, these people may have been clouding your judgment by telling you not to do the things you love, or have been discouraging you from the things that you're passionate about and that you really enjoy. And they might have been calling you names, they might have been bullying you, they might have been gaslighting you too, being like when you'd call them out for being unsupportive, they'd be like, no, I'm not being unsupportive, I'm just looking out for your best interest. And then you just be like, yeah, but like, what? Like, you wouldn't before you wouldn't have said anything, but now you're like, but yeah, but like, if you were really looking out for my best interest, you would support me and let me pursue my passions and my dreams without being so negative about it, without being so projecty about it, you know? Have you ever had like a family member or a friend or a roommate or a partner that constantly is just a negative spew of complaining and being like, oh, why are you doing it this way? It should be this way. While they themselves are just sitting on their ass doing nothing about it. And if they even tried to do it, then they wouldn't do as good of a job as you. And they're only saying those negative things in order for them to feel better about themselves, because they know how much better you are than them. And not to say anyone's like better than anyone else, but there's definitely a sense of someone being very negative in your life that you're letting go of. Someone who was very unsupportive, very projecty, someone who would project their insecurities onto you and project their own dissatisfaction of life onto you. And you're just like, no more. Fuck that. I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm not even engaging with that shit. I don't want it to emotionally corrupt me or emotionally entangle me. So I'm just letting that go to protect my peace. And I'm just not going to talk to them. I'm not going to engage with them. I'm not going to do them any favors, because they don't deserve to be in my presence and they don't deserve to be in my life. Oh, I just burped there. So that's a confirmation of 100% of how much you've grown and how much you now stand in your power and your emotional vulnerability in order for you to really be yourself without any care or any judgment of the people around you. And some people you might not be able to completely cut out of your life, like say it's like a family member or a roommate, like someone you have to see every day, or a coworker. So you just kind of avoid them now, and you just don't let them disrupt your peace. You don't let them into your world anymore, because you recognize that they're just literally an energy vampire who is sucking the life from you. And you have become such a powerful spiritual being that you recognize that you have your own inner light that they can't ever take away from you. And that's why your subconscious really wants you to have this space of rest and this space of healing and this space of grieving. Because as much as that person was a dickhead, sorry, or as much as that person really ruffled your feathers, they were someone who used to be important to you, and they were someone who used to be a part of your life, and they could have been your whole world at a point. And now you see them for who they truly are, and you are someone who recognizes that you, oddly enough, were projecting good qualities onto them and putting them on a higher position than what they truly were. You might have now taken off those rose-colored glasses and you're able to see them for who they really are. And that is the spiritual growth that you've just come out of. So it is really important for you to take time to rest, because you are a free bird. The clouds of intrusive thoughts, the clouds of judgment from this person or people are going away, and you refuse to let them back into your life. You refuse to pick up their calls. You refuse to do them favors or be in your energy, because you recognize that they don't deserve to be there. And you have a protective heart where you want to keep that sacred in your garden, and you want to be able to nurture it and pollinate that and flower it in order for you to grow. And before you do that, there is a space where you just kind of need to rest, and you kind of need to just have this time to grieve and process these emotions. Yeah, so that's what your subconscious wants you to know. Your subconscious wants you to know that you've gone through such a big transition with the people around you and in your everyday life, where you are no longer taking their crap, and you recognize your true potential and your true beauty, and you fully have cut them off. Or if you haven't fully cut them off, you just avoid them, or you do very minimal as you can contact with them, because again, they don't deserve you. They don't deserve to be around you, with you, share your beautiful positive light. And you deserve to have rest from this lesson of yours, from like who they are, and you're able to see yourself for who you are in such a new state. So that you can grow this garden and protect your heart and your emotional well-being. So keep being isolated, and if not, be with people who you know are trustworthy, who you know aren't going to project their insecurities onto you, who you know will love you and treasure you and really show through one of your love language. They might physically show up, they might give you gifts, they might give you words of affirmation, they might spend quality time with you, in order for them to really show you how much value you have in the world. So yeah, you're letting go of the people who no longer serve you, and you're coming into a time where you can support yourself and have other people around you support you and your emotional well-being. Love that. Ooh! And okay, so this is the last card we have that I pulled out. And it is detachment. The affirmation is, I release. The practical step is, I write my desire and release it. And that is such a confirmation card in terms of what we've been saying this whole time. You have legitimately detached from the baggage that this person was holding on to you, and you're moving into a new space of acceptance and trust and conscious living, where you no longer let those people in, and you really cultivate who you are, and your priority is you, and you've let go of having them intrude your thoughts, having them intrude your space, having them put a damper on your world, you know? The universe always provides you with exactly what you need. And if you want to journal, and if you want to release them in any way, you can write, I want blank or something better. Then save, burn, or bury the paper. If you're watching this around the eclipse season, I say save it for a new moon or save it for a different time, because eclipse season will not be a great, there's just a lot of like debate around like manifesting over the eclipse season, and I don't want to put you in a fear state. I don't want to put you in emotional wreckage, but it's just kind of like a precaution, being like, if you were to journal this or manifest this, to do it in a couple, either before the eclipse season or after the eclipse season, just not during it. And yeah, so you can just write I want blank or something better, and save, burn, or bury the paper. And the physical act of writing and releasing signifies your trust in a positive outcome. And that's something that I feel that you've already done and that you've already accomplished. And now it is your time to really allow yourself to rest from the situation and really let yourself just process it and go through it and take care of yourself, really. And you know, sometimes you might have feelings that come up, being like, oh, I miss them, oh, I still love them, and that's totally perfectly fine. But you recognize that they were a piece of shit to you and they did not treat you well, and they were just this negative Nelly dampering on your life and stealing and energetically being a vampire and stealing your happiness and joy, and you don't want that anymore, and you recognize that. So I say bravo to you. Your subconscious says bravo to you. You have shifted into a higher timeline, your highest timeline. But what your subconscious really wants from you right now is to take a step back, to emotionally release and detach and rest from the situation. Yeah. So isolation is very key for you, and being with trusted people is very key with you, because now you're in a space of acceptance of who you are and what you truly desire. So I'm gonna leave it there. I love you so much, my bundle of joy, my beautiful soul. I'm so proud of you. Your subconscious divine source is so proud of you for all this releasing that you've been doing, and know that that is a lot of work. That is a lot of tension to hold on to and let go of, and that is a lot of processing. And you know, you deserve a space to rest, and you deserve a space to be yourself and love yourself and have good things come to you, because you've done such an amazing job releasing. So yeah, I am wishing you a restful and blessed period in your life. I hope you take care as always, and I hope to see you in the next one. Hey, Pile 3. It is nice to be back and in your energy. And today's reading, we're doing it a little bit of a different format, where I have all the cards spread out on the table. And I just wanted to save on some time, and I just wanted to get channel messages as fast as I could without having the interruptions of shuffling. So I've laid out all your cards, and we're just gonna get into it. So divine source, the subconscious of the collective of Pile 3, please tap me into their highest timeline, what their subconscious wants them to know in regards to them achieving their highest timeline. So I'm getting a lot of balance when it comes to you, being able to balance and discern, because you have Justice and the High Priestess. Both cards are about balance, and both cards are about being able to have discernment over what's going around you, and the fact that there's always light and dark, and there's always dark and light. And because I'm getting a lot of the yin yang symbolism, it feels like you're able to receive the knowledge and the love and the abundance of the spiritual teachings, that there is more to life than what we see on screens. And it feels like you're putting the phone down in order for you to get to know yourself more, and getting to kind of isolate and be your authentic self. And you're working really hard in order to achieve that. And it might feel like a big burden that you've just taken on in order to achieve that, but just know that your subconscious is really proud of you. It really wants you to know that you are becoming your truest, divine, authentic self, and that you are really shedding the need for validation from others, and you're really shedding the need for the gratification and satisfaction of getting likes, or getting your post reposted, or people commenting on your social media. Like you're really running away from all of that. You're really running away from all the comments and all the stresses that come with social media, like it feels like, I know that the High Priestess and Justice are in reverse, but it feels like it's because there was this imbalance, and you used to put a lot of emphasis on hyper femininity and being hyper aware of your beauty, and being hyper aware of how others perceived you, and being hyper aware of the receptivity of praise. And there's nothing wrong with getting your ego stroked. There's nothing wrong with wanting validation from others. That's just a human thing to do, like no shame at all. It's just subconsciously you recognize that there's a part of you that wants to get back to your own dwelling, your own inner compass, your own inner divine understanding of who you are, regardless of what people think of you. There's a part of your soul that's literally crying right now, because there might have been, it feels like there might have been an injustice when it comes to the people in your life. It might have felt like people in your life showed you validation, but they didn't actually follow through with any support. For example, they might have liked your post. Say you're a small business owner and you have launched your business, and you reached out to your friends and your family and your loved ones and the people online, being like, hey, I started this new thing. It'd be really great if you would help support me in this. And they might have liked your post and stuff, and they might have been like, yeah, totally. I'm totally gonna purchase something from your shop. And then they never did. And it feels kind of like this, somewhat of a betrayal sense, where you no longer trust everything you see on social media, and you no longer feel the need to be validated by social media people or the people on your social media. Sorry. There is this really big solar plexus opening and this ego nurturing and this sun-esque energy that wants to come through and wants to show you how needed and how loved and how valued especially you are when you are your authentic self, when you're doing it for yourself and when you're doing it because you love doing it and you don't want to just show off to other people, or you don't want to just like, you're not doing it out of fear. That's how it feels like. Like, say you're still, let's keep with this small business thing. Say you're the small business and now, other than marketing yourself to those people on your social media, maybe you're changing platforms, or maybe you're going a bit more secluded, you know what I mean? Like, other than reaching out to your family and friends, you might be someone who now has created a new account and now follows only people that are in that realm of your business, and you're marketing to people who really will appreciate who you are and appreciate your talents and appreciate the skills that you bring to the table, and that what you do is very important, and that what you do really does make a difference in other people's lives. But you recognize that it's hard work, and you recognize that there's a need for you to kind of run away and escape this old part of your life. You're getting back to integrity by clearing and organizing who you are. This feels a lot like a business reading because there's a lot of pentacles with the discs, and there's a lot of social media aspects of it. So it really does feel like you started something that you're very passionate about, regarding basically a business, and you felt kind of betrayed by the people who were kind of close to you, the people who are on your social media, because you thought they would, support you and, like try out your services or buy your products, but they didn't. And so there's a part of you that's still kind of recovering from this feeling of failure. And let me tell you that you're not a failure, because you're stepping into and you're clearing and you're organizing who you deliver your messages to, who you deliver your products and services to, because who you market to, basically. And you're having this new beginning when it comes to this business, because you recognize that although the initial gratification and validation from your friends and family was nice, it didn't really get you anywhere, and it didn't really feel like you were being authentic to who you are. You're coming back to a place where you are now putting yourself in social groups, and you're putting yourself in online communities that really appreciate who you are. And before that happens, you recognize that there's a lot of work that you need to do. There's a lot of cleaning out and organizing and getting clarity on how to go about what you want to go about, and then doing the work and the effort in order to get there. And having to do it on your own, having to do it alone, having to do it without any support from the people who you would normally get support from. Because there's a part of you that really just wants to run away from all that, and wants to run away from the feeling of imbalance. That's how it feels, the imbalance of the situation. And you're getting back to a place of becoming yourself and becoming your authentic self. But there is also a part of you that kind of looks back to like the betrayal and the hurt, and you're still processing that. So just know that you're going easy on yourself, and to go easy on yourself, and that you're doing such an amazing job, sweetie, and you're doing the best that you can, and that's all that anyone can ever ask of you, is to do the best that you can. And just know that no one knows what the fuck they're doing with their life. Everyone's just kind of going through it, and you will find the community that loves and supports you for your talents and your skills and your abilities to show up. Because unfortunately, you might have been in a circle with loved ones that weren't really like that, and that's okay. Now you recognize that like it's cool to like do your business, but maybe you're not going to be so like, you're not going to share as much information with your loved ones. You're not going to like ask for their support as often, because you know that you can do this by yourself, and your subconscious wants you to know that you can do this by yourself without the help of them. You can do this on your own, and it will give you such a sense of integrity and give you such a sense of relief, because you're no longer chasing or running away from someone who you aren't. Like, you're no longer running away from fear. Does that make sense? How do I say this better? You're no longer chasing validation from the people around you, and you're now chasing your true passions, your true desires, what really resonates with you. Like, you're going after your North Node, basically, and regardless of what everyone thinks of your business or like who you are not giving any fucks about that. You might be processing and shedding the need of validation, but you're going to be coming into a place where you're not going to care anymore, and you're going to really get out of your comfort zone and into a larger sphere where your talents will be really appreciated. Yeah. Okay. Your subconscious just really wants you to know that you are in a space where you're clearing out a lot. You're clearing out a lot of emotional grief and a lot of emotional betrayal and a lot of emotional heartache that you might have suffered from the past. And now you're kind of picking up the pieces. And just like a toddler, you're not going to give up. You know, like when a toddler, when like they're trying to walk for the first time, it's not that they like ever stop trying to get up and walk, you know? They will fall down all the time, but that doesn't stop them from getting up and learning how to walk. And that's how it feels like with you right now. You might have fallen down, but you're picking yourself back up, and you're picking up the pieces again in order for you to really stand on your own 2 feet and really be grounded and rooted in yourself and in your inner drive and in your inner beast. And that is such a solar plexus healing. That is such a place of understanding and loving yourself and loving who you are and your talents, and recognizing that you're valuable regardless of what anyone says. Okay. Now we're going to move forward into the practical steps of realization that your subconscious wants you to know. So your subconscious wants you to know to send love. I send love, and the practical step is I visualize the love I send to others. You will come across people who are controlling, hateful, judgmental, narrow-minded, and incapable of understanding you. These are their issues, not yours. You cannot change their behaviors, thoughts, or attitudes. What you can do is refuse to accept their negative energy. Breathe deeply and visualize your loving energy and the love going to you. Send yourself love. Even if you're overly involved emotionally, step back, detach, and then send love. It says here to send love to others, but it really feels like you should send love to yourself. And that's what it feels like you are doing, and to put yourself back into the focus. Even like not even putting them into the you don't have to send them love. If they want to love themselves, let them love themselves, but you're detaching from that aspect of needing their validation and needing their abundance and their love that they gave you. You no longer are falling victim to the controlling and manipulative patterns that they might have been putting onto you. So your subconscious, divine source, wants you to put yourself back into the focus and for you to send yourself love. Yeah. It wants you to step back, detach. You can't change who they are, but you can change your reaction to them. Like that's what you're running away from. You're running away from, this is such a confirmation card, which I love. You're running away from all those people that kind of felt a little bit imbalanced and a little two-faced and a little bit like they were saying that they loved what you're doing, but behind your back they wouldn't actually support you. You know what I mean? Like, and you're letting go of having to need their validation, and you're letting go of having to need their support, and you're really grounding yourself knowing that you can do it on your own and you are going to succeed, and that you're following your north node. So you're following your purpose, you're following your passion, you're following what you need to be doing on this earth in order for you to achieve your highest timeline. So what your subconscious really wants you to know is that you're doing such a great job, and it's so proud of you for choosing you and for choosing a life where you're getting back to who you are and getting back to your inner divine and letting go of the validation and the need to please others and what they think of you. You're really letting that go, and I'm so proud of you. Divine is so proud of you. Your subconscious is so proud of you, because that is a lot of work, you know? You have to have such a strong inner core in order to achieve this. And, you know, just give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself some amazing time to love yourself and, you know, tell yourself in the mirror that you're doing great, and give yourself the love that you deserve, because the people that you were going to for the support are not helpful, and they are not people that you need in life in order for you to progress. You got this. You got this. You can do it on your own. There's so much belief, and your subconscious wants you to know that somewhere deep down inside that you know that you can do this, and that you have divine support, and this is a confirmation message that you will succeed. You will find your way back home, and you'll work hard to get to where you want to go. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to leave it there, loves. I am wishing you such blessings and abundance, and I'm blessing you with so much love for yourself because you deserve it. And I've been through this, and I've been through like I'm pretty sure this is my pal because I'm just going through this. So, you know, I'm here, right here with you in the same experience. And because of that, I know we'll get through this. And if you want any support from this community, please feel free to link yourself down below. I would love to check out your work, and I would love to support you. And yeah, I'm sending you much, 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 much love. I hope you have a wonderful, amazing day. Take care.